Hello, you beautiful legends. Here is Croissant Gamer, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode 485. We are just about to leave our apartment and go to one of the shopping malls. As you can see, quite a lot of snow fell, so all Wroclaw is white at the moment. So we decided to not take the car, and as planned, we are going to walk. It's about 2.5 kilometers, so we will have a nice activity of 5k at the same time, enjoying some time walking together. So this is a short intro, and see you soon. Quick update. Here you can see how much snow fell since yesterday. As you can see, yesterday I showed you the view from the window. It was pretty much zero snow, and today it's like all white. Nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite amazing. To be honest, we are not expecting to get snow, and most of the Poland doesn't have it, as far as I know, because Elizabeth told me that the hometown of hers, where we will be driving, is -5, but no snow. While here we are closer to the mountains, I guess, and the temperature is just perfect, I guess, for the snowfall. So here we have it. I don't know how long it will stay like that, because as I said, temperatures are close to zero. So if they only go slightly up, it will all melt.
You see the willow tree?
Yeah.
Its branches are frozen under the bottom.
Let's zoom in on this one. Yeah, very cool. All right, we keep going, and we'll be reporting soon. And welcome back. Just show you a quick thing. See that tower out there? It's called Sky Tower, and it's supposed to have 212 meters in height. Over 212. Why I'm telling you that is because it was nice to see it, especially at night when it was all lit up. And it seems like there's the shopping mall on the first couple of floors. Then I think it's supposed to be half office building, half accommodation, or kind of, apartment block. And then on top there is an attraction viewing point where you can go almost 200 meters high. It's probably 49th story or whatever, 49th level, where you can go, pay the ticket. It's very cheap. It's probably about €3.50 or something like that, equivalent for an adult. And you can go there and get the views on surroundings, not only Wrocław, but if it's a good weather, you can probably see even a very distant mountains, and a lot, because it's quite high, probably the highest building in the area here, and I think fourth highest building in Poland. So quite important, I would say, spot to check on if you happen to be on a trip to Wrocław. So this segment will be the last one. It's still not so late. I keep doing them a little bit earlier now, so it's like 3 o'clock. Oh, very similar to yesterday. So it's 3 p.m. here in Poland. That would be 2 p.m. in Ireland. And we are back from the shopping center. Quite a big shopping center, to be honest. It amazes me how much money can be pumped into a single building, and interior and space
just for the sake of providing people with that short-lived dopamine shots, because we know that shopping is kind of way for people to, I don't know, get away from daily life or the boredom or things like that. It's a bit sad, but it's psychological concept that if we buy something, we get that small dopamine shot, but it's very short-lived. So that's why shopping never satisfies us once or twice. We need to do it fairly regularly, and even if we have money and we keep buying, it's never satisfying us for longer. But this is what people do. I was observing all of those crowds, and some people were going into the shops just to look at items. Some of them were buying them. Some of them were sitting in cafes, and some just in the sitting areas in between the shops and looking at their phones. So I assumed that they were just either messaging someone or looking at social media, getting very similar but differently sourced dopamine shots. Again, very short-lived, because that's how social media work. So from a wide perspective, it feels like it's quite a sad picture of who we are as a society. And opinion about Wroclaw at the moment is obviously, in comparison to Ireland, there is no comparison in terms of the amount of amenities and services. It's just like probably 100x in comparison. But also it means that it's a very crowded city, and Poland is generally very crowded country. You can see, even if it's bigger than Ireland, obviously, but it's bigger in size, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 times, 4 times, while in terms of population, it's like 10x of Ireland, because I think Ireland is about 4 million and Poland is almost 40. So it's, it's an easy calculation. So yeah, a very different country, very different culture. Definitely pros and cons as everywhere. But I could adapt by moving to Poland, because everyone can, I don't think I would fit in this reality anymore. And I prefer more rural or distant areas and living spots than big cities and crowded places. But it's nice to go out sometimes and visit, not only just to get a sense of it, that what you have on a daily basis in place like we live now in Donegal, all that nature surrounding us, very fresh air, that reminds you about it, so you're not taking it for granted. And fresh air, especially like Wrocław and Krakow and all these southern Poland areas, are deemed to be probably worst in terms of the air cleanliness or air pollution in Europe. If you look at the air quality maps, you will see that in EU, probably we are one of the worst places. And I mean south. I don't want to generalize Poland, because Poland in general still has a very nice and fresh air spots. Like, we have amazing, areas of nature preservation, woodlands and mountains, which are obviously clean, but because how these southern cities were built and designated for a lot of manufacture and mines and stuff like that, a lot of factories here in history. So, you know, those mountain ranges that kind of protect us a little bit on the southern border also cause the air to never go across the mountains. So it stays in that kind of, you know, level or even depressed level of land where the towns are. And then obviously it stays south and not much of that air travels up north. So northern part of Poland, is much cleaner than the southern in terms of the air quality. But I diverged too much. So it was a nice walk. We did probably almost 6 kilometers in total. It was great to have snow and throw a couple of snowballs in between myself and Julian. He had fun. We saw a little bit of Wroclaw, but obviously they were like a more of a modern parts of Wroclaw. I think about dressing up and going out for about an hour and check the old town just myself, because Julian is now relaxing and Elizabeth is doing her thing. So we might go for dinner later on in the evening, but I want to use that time now, the rest of the daylight, wisely. So this is the last segment of today, and I'll write more in the blog post. So if you want to know more, please head on to the blog, unless you're reading the blog post and actually watching this episode in the blog that is embedded, then obviously you will likely be reading the rest. So enjoy the reading. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are driving towards my wife's hometown after her injection. So it will be a long day on the road because we have about 300 kilometers to cover at least. So see you tomorrow.